Hey everybody, it is July the 22nd, 2020, and you know why you're all here. So hey, let's kick this off right and introduce the players. I'm Gerissar.
Hey, I'm Andallyn.
A bad one.
Oh, I'm Windstead. And now you have Andallyn jumping the gun.
Oh my goodness. This is
I mean,
he just wants to get into it.
You just I step aside, I allow you to go first, and now it's like you want to just step all over Gerissar's toes.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear the titles, man.
They just want to get into the meat.
That's right. Yo, I got a special guest with me here today. Check her out. You want to say hi? Say hi, Maggie.
Oh, you're puppy. Hello, puppy.
She's chilling. We're doing good.
Nice. That's how's the obedience training coming along?
It's going well. She's doing pretty good. Still a little bitey, but she's still a puppy. So
yeah.
Fair enough.
A lot of teething to go on.
Yeah, that's how you interact with the world, right? I don't have any hands, no thumbs, so I'm gonna put you in my mouth.
Yep.
Your mouth on everything.
Well, I mean, granted, I think both my kids had a tendency to not only have to touch something but put it in their mouth as well.
Yeah.
As infants. So I mean, yeah, it's all good.
It's one of those guaranteed things. You give a child something and it's just like.
Yep. They look at it, they feel it, and they chew on it.
It's not a burrito. Oh man. Yeah. All right. So hey, what are you guys up to? Gerissar, we're gonna start with you because we never start with you. So.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Yeah. Great question. So I
totally out of left field, right?
Yeah, I was not. So there was the special day there a couple weeks ago with the pet battles where we were able to level up pet battles over at the old garrisons. So I went and did that, and I maxed out. Oh Jesus! I think I maxed out about 12 pets before I got done. I just cooked myself that night doing that. And which it's amazing. It was amazing to do. You guys know what I'm talking about? For the pet.
I heard about the event, but I just, haven't really done a whole lot with pet battles recently.
Okay. So they've lined up where I think it's like twice a year, where it's the pet battle week where you get 100% extra experience for your pet battle for your battle pets. Mm-hmm. Lines up with a certain pet master over at the old garrison from WAD, who drops a crazy amount of experience. So, and you can also use the pet food buffs to boost how much experience you get. So you can boost a level 1 pet to level 25 in 2 battles. So it's really amazing for just, it's pretty awesome. So
I had realized that it was that good. I may have done something with it.
I think the next one is in November. So the trick there is having a mechanical Pandaren Dragonling, or 2 of them actually is preferred. If you have 2 of them, then you can take a level 1 to 25 in 2 battles. If you don't have that, there's a couple other tricks. There's a guide over on Wowhead all about it. If you only have 1 Dragonling like I do, you can only do things that are a little bit higher level because they have to be able to take. There's one of the pets does an AOE, and if it is able to get off the AOE, then they'll nuke your level 1 guaranteed. So did that. Did a whole bunch of auction housing like normal, and I've pretty much given up on doing a lot of rated PvP. So I've decided to focus again back on doing the invasions, the PvP attacks. So I've been running around doing those. And man, oh man, have they been fun. Just like random world PvPs popping up. There was one we're doing over at Vol'dun, and there was a small raid of Horde running around. So then a bunch of Alliance grouped up, and we just charged into them and blew them up, and they ran away. And then, it was pretty fun.
Yeah. All right, dude. We're going to have to ask you. You got to unveil the Warcraft radio shirt.
Okay.
Come on.
Here we go.
Off, man.
Oh, look at it.
This looks awesome. And it even has on the back.
Ooh, slick.
Yeah, I got the finally showed up in the mail a little while ago, so
nice.
I was able to. Now I'm able to sport it here instead of my my World of Warcraft hoodie, which is a little too warm in the summer here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
I will say the blue matches your headsets well.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
So, I mean, it's like you're coordinated there.
You know, it's like I planned it.
Like you planned.
Not at all. Not
quality. Windstead, what about you, bud?
Yeah.
For me, you know, I want Shadowlands PvP to hit. I'm comfortable with all the healers. And I don't really feel any need to really play the alpha anymore. And so I've gone back hard into classic. I tried. There's a solo grind that you can do in classic in Zul'Farrak, and I'm trying to figure it out on my mage, and it's a lot trickier than I initially thought it was going to be.
On a mage?
I'm losing gold. Yeah. So you can basically solo the graveyard in Zul'Farrak at like level 42, which I utterly failed at. Couldn't even make it to the graveyard. And so I went out and leveled to 44.
Yep.
And then I made it to the graveyard. But if you don't do a couple of things just right, you find yourself at the bottom of a hole with about 20 mobs rushing down at you.
Yikes.
And they kill you rather quickly. So then I was trying to like take one mob at a time just to get the feel of it down. And I mean, dude, when you kill one, you get 1,000+ experience per kill. And so you can imagine there's like a potential of 30 to 40 mobs.
Wow.
That you could kill in a 10-minute span of time. And so you can get tons of experience off of it, but it's just getting it dialed in. And I had to stop doing it because I ran out of gold for repair bills.
Oh, no.
And so apparently something that I'm missing.
Why are you dying?
I need to... It's this. There's this one jump that you have to pull off, and apparently it's really hard to do, which I'm agreeing with. But I'm also, I was looking up some stuff on it last night while I was trying it, and apparently you should have the enchant boots of speed, and it makes it a lot easier. And I don't have that enchant on my boots, and so now I'm.
So you're really doing it hard mode then.
Yeah, I'm totally doing it hard mode. And so I'm stepping away from that to earn some gold so that I can buy that enchant from an enchanter, and then I'll go back and do it. But apparently it'll carry me, the ZF farm will carry me from level 44 all the way up to like 53, 54.
I can see that, yep.
And I can do it in like under 10 hours. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Mages are insane, dude.
Well, yeah.
Because that's what I'm wondering. Like, you shouldn't... I didn't play a whole lot of Classic, but I mean I played a little bit, and I had a friend of mine who did a lot with it, and he was playing a mage for a little bit, and you just you don't die, you just like
nope.
the only reason you die is because like the mobs have so much health that you run out of mana, and then you just you die because you literally can't blink anymore.
Yeah, no, I love
Which
this
takes a
AoE
while.
farm that I'm doing, and it's a lot of fun. I love playing my mage, but I'm definitely like, there's a learning curve to this ZF farm that I'm not quite getting, and so I'm hoping that once I get the boots of speed enchant on my boots, that increases my mobility by like 10%, which should make the jump a lot easier to make, and then it should be, easy pickings from there.
Can't you like kill everything in the before you make the jump and then go attempt the jump?
I'll link you the video that I'm trying to mimic.
Okay.
But it's basically there's a wall that you can stand on. You can open up all the graves in the graveyard, and then you use a special spot to get out of combat, and they all congregate at their graves, and then you can climb up on top of this wall and pull everything. And then there's this one jump while you're on top of the wall that takes you between these two ledges, and there are two separate pathings for the mobs to get to you. And so you wait for them to almost get to you, and then you jump, and then they have to go all the way back around, and you can just blizzard them the entire time.
Yeah.
That's happening, and so you can kill 20 plus mobs in a single go. You know, if you got your mana crystal, the blizzard, if you have all those things, that you just kill everything. But that one jump, if you don't make it, you fall down into the bottom of this hole, and then you have to hope that you can run past everything before they kill you. And I'm not having a lot of success with that. I'm dying a lot.
Have you tried getting a friend to give you a hand? Is there no other mages that you can do this with? Just curious.
It's something I could do with, but the thing is that the XP drop happens. You just lose a lot of the XP, and it's something that you can do on your own.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to do it on my own.
Okay, no, fair. Just asking. I mean, it is an MMO.
Yes.
Just saying.
And I'll be and one of the major things in Classic is your gold.
Yeah.
And if you can, there's a couple of farms that mages can do that just make gold relatively irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just jump on, do this for a couple of hours, and then you'll have all the gold that you need to change your spec, and do everything that you could possibly want to get in the game with gold. And so I'm trying to learn this so that I do make gold irrelevant, and I can just farm up gold whenever I want. And
fair enough.
I can jump between my PvP spec and my raid spec, and it's not a big deal. And so, that's what I've been up to.
Cool.
Andallyn.
Yes. I'm curious what you've been up to, bud.
Yeah, dude. I've been having a great time. We've been having a super awesome time. My little brother is a teacher out in the... he lives in a different state. I don't know if it's appropriate to say the state name, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been in town. His girlfriend from Kansas City's been here. It's been awesome. Because we got to meet her, and so we've had a lot of fun. Enjoyed Father's Day, all that good stuff. I've actually been getting more so into breaking down Overwatch real technically, and making solid pushes and push attempts on Overwatch. I just find it so much more engaging right now, and right now I'm getting my PvP fix from watching Peekaboo stream for a few hours or something. And I'm like, I've got my fix in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll watch Zarya a little bit, and I don't know. It's tough because I'm trying to find gameplay at a high level, and it's just you can't find it. I can't find it in WoW right now, and Overwatch is the only place I can kind of get a inkling of it.
I get you.
Especially on a limited time budget.
Yeah. It's actually, I just want to say one of the reasons why I've really kind of laid off of the rated PvP is I fell behind on the cloak grind, and the catch up only gets you so far. I just don't feel like grinding it. So and now
really
because
it only
of
gets you so far? I thought.
Yeah, I think it only gets you to you're level 15 on cloak.
That's the max.
And then up. No, I think you can go higher.
15 is cap, I thought.
Yeah, 15 is cap.
Maybe cap for the
Or maybe I'm misunderstanding. No, I thought you can go higher.
Quite a good way there.
No, I thought I heard some. Anyway, my understanding
Sure.
the catch up mechanic doesn't get you all the way to max where it is.
Yeah. And
people are saying right now, if you're grinding, you're about 3 months behind everybody else. So, and because of the corruption vendor, unless you have max corruptions, if you don't have max level, then you don't have max corruption defense. Then therefore, it just compiles. So I'm just like, meh. But yeah, I hear what you're saying though. Definitely watching. Wait, if you can't play the game, you just watch somebody else play the game and get your fix that way.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he normally streams kind of later at night when I would tune in, so it just kind of has been working out. But hey, if we want to have an Overwatch episode, I'm all for it.
Well, if the Shadowlands alpha keeps dragging out the way it is, we might have to do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well,
No,
hopefully,
that's not.
they have the PvP vendor in there. I'm just hoping that they do get more incentive for people to do PvP in Shadowlands, to start testing that aspect of the game. Give us the level cap characters. Give us.
I honestly don't even care. I just want it to be enjoyable, dude. At this point.
Well, I mean, in order to enjoy it, we need to test it, and we need to tell them if it's bad or not. And so I want to start testing it. I want to see, hey, are these things going to work? I'm really nervous about the, all the different systems that they're piling on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
but here's a side question. Here's a sidebar question, which could probably be a whole entire episode, but we're not going to jump down the rabbit hole. But I'm going to present it with fully intending to catch us before we go too far. Who are we to tell game devs of a team that have been working 15 to 20 years on the same game that we know better than them if a game's good or not? Legitimately.
We are the players of said game.
Okay. But how does that qualify us?
So I saw a really interesting tweet from Hamlet. He actually, Hamlet. He used to be on Elitist Jerks. He's now one of the devs over at Blizzard, and he was talking about game devs and how really a game devs thing is to put systems into place that people may not know that they want to, but it kind of hooks them, right? Mm-hmm. It's knowing people well enough to either convince them to do something that maybe they didn't think they wanted to do,
grind,
or to put something in that they will. There's obviously the simple stuff that people want to do, which is chase the carrot of new gear, mm-hmm. and always keep improving the gear. But then there's some other things that they can always put in to do other things, right? And
my statement would be that how many Blizzard employees are there versus how many players of the game are there. And so you just have a massive amount of brain power happening on the player side that
it's not collective,
the
though.
Game devs just can't compete.
It's not collective. They're all independent and subjective.
Yes, but when you have a group of people all involved in the same thing, it becomes collective. I mean, it's the mob mentality.
I fundamentally disagree.
No. I completely disagree with that. Let's bring this.
Crowds acted very homogeneously when you look at their actions, how they act. You can see one fire. I mean, it's like a brain. You see a neuron fire off, or you see a person. And I mean, not to bring in too much recent events, but all it takes is one individual to do something, and suddenly you have a huge crowd
or stimulus.
That. Yeah. And so if you have this collective brain that's all playing the game, that always identifies certain things as fun, it would behoove Blizzard to lean into those things.
Sure, but I don't think it's as unifying. That is a phenomenon, but that typically works when you have like the human experience, when you're around people, you're actually sharing a common space. Yes, it is true that we are sharing a virtual space as players, but I think there's a lot of uniqueness, because I mean, even just between you and me, even between the three of us, there's a lot of clear differences in how we see the game, how we perceive the game, how we play the game, how we expect the game to perform. Like all these topics, and I mean, I can go on. Like there's lots of different ways, but. Sorry, I did say I was going to pull us back.
And that's so I'm going to say that you prove my point with all three of us, with all the different ways that we view this game, have all pulled back from the game because it's not fun. We're not enjoying ourselves. We're not.
That's not true.
And Gerissar, you've changed what you're playing on it.
Yeah, I just changed how I play. I'm still enjoying what I do.
We've all pulled back a little bit from the game.
So.
Yes, but is that due to the fact that but isn't that more due to a lack of content right now?
Yeah, kind of.
When is there ever a lack of PvP content?
What do you mean? There's a lack of content right now.
PvP. But I mean, you can always PvP. The content is always fresh. You're always up for a new challenge. The problem
It's not
is
a new
the
challenge.
systems that they have in place. Well, you're always facing new people, and even if you're facing the same people, they do something different. It's not like a raid where once you learn the dance, you're set for life.
Yeah, but it's also not as random as cosmic and as abstract as you're making it sound. If you're playing a druid, you play a certain way. If you're playing a paladin, you play a certain way. Like it's really not like.
So
there.
guys,
yeah.
Let's pull back for a second and look at this. Is that the game itself is filled with a bunch of systems. It's filled with a bunch of different goals that we can all put into play. I like the good point in chat there where people are talking about setting your own goals, and then if you achieve them or don't achieve them, right? It's whatever you just it's whatever you decide to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, though, from the player base point of view, and people who from the player base are trying to tell the devs what they think and how they feel. I put that almost to like, have you ever seen one of those protests where it's like there's a bunch of people standing in a crowd, but everybody's holding up a different sign for their own personal advice of what they think?
Right.
That's how I feel like the game player base is right now, where there's people that want their spec to be king, they want their spec to be god comp, they want there's people that don't care about PvP, they just want PvE to be awesome. There's people that want soloable content. There's people that don't want soloable content. They want only group content, or preferably just group content because that's how they play the game.
Yeah.
There's, I could go on. But that's really what what the crux is that, I think where you're coming from, Winstead, is that historically we've seen when the game devs put in a bunch of complexity into the game, it becomes so complex it's almost unwieldy to comprehend and unwieldy to work with, and that's I think the harder part where suddenly
that's a whole separate phenomenon too.
Yeah, and then all end up happening is it does. But we all do what everybody else does is we drop to Sims, we see what the one spec ekes out the extra 1% or whatever with this, that, and the other thing.
Right, because the player base doesn't want to have to think.
Yeah, exactly. And so we cookie cutter and we're done.
The player base does want to have to think.
Well, yes. There's those people that do. And I think regardless that percentage of people that want to think and want to figure out the nitty-gritties are going to do that regardless.
Yeah, but I mean, the people that I play with typically want to think, and that's why they no longer play WoW with me. They go play Path of Exile or something like that. It's because it's actually stimulating.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that? I mean, yeah.
Or it's more so just because of a lack of content in WoW right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's dry. It's always this way before an expansion, you know, or towards the end of an expansion. And it's that weird lame duck period between the last patch and pre-patch. You know what I mean? It's just oh, it feels like forever.
Yeah. Well, it's because you see it coming, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But speaking about seeing things coming or not coming, why don't we talk about Need, Greed, and Pass and see what Windstead's come up with this week?
This likely won't be a lead, right? So keep your distance, eh?
All right.
Indeed. So again, in this segment, one of the hosts, this time Windstead, is going to be his turn to pose a scenario with 3 options related to WoW. Participants need to decide which option they will need, which they will greed, and which they will pass. So let the hilarity commence as we decide on what we will need, greed, and pass.
So here we go.
All right,
we now have interesting dichotomy happening around World of Warcraft PvP. And so I'm going to present to you 3 options of what you would prefer to see on the weekend. All right? You have AWC, Arena World Championship.
Yep.
You have the Classic Duelers League. Or you have the Warcraft Summer Bowl.
Yeah.
What's your need, greed, and pass?
Oh. That's a good one. Shoot.
I've got it.
Yeah, you got it? Okay, you go first.
Yeah.
I'm still going to think.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like it's pretty cut and dry for me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna need on the AWC, right?
Yeah.
I found that to be the most engaging. I'm gonna greed on the bowl, and I'm actually gonna pass on the CDL. I know the classic dueling is engaging for a lot of people, and I think that there's a lot of great potential for outplay and stuff. But it's to me like watching people duel classic is like watching people compete in quap races.
Okay.
It can be interesting at the end because it's like a narrative, but the narrative is like it's all I got going for it for me, really.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Interesting.
Okay. I'm almost I was on the fence with this one. I'm almost with you there, Andallyn. But after watching,
you need the AWC though, don't you?
Pardon me?
You're gonna need the AWC though, aren't you?
I'm actually gonna need Summer Bowl.
Ooh.
So normally I would have needed AWC, but I watched the EU Cup last weekend for the Summer Bowl, and man, it brought back some serious nostalgia. Like some of the little tricks and some of the spots that are so broken in Warsaw Gulch. Like, don't get me wrong, there was some stalemates. There was a few maps where it was coming down to the wire, and it wasn't until like the last 5 minutes that a cap actually happened, and then the team won. But in that, it was also a nail biter. It was so exciting. Brought back a bunch of nostalgia of playing Warsaw Gulch in Classic, and that I really enjoyed that, and I so much appreciate all the work that they put into that, both on the teams and on the backside. So I'm gonna need Summer Bowl. I'm gonna greed on AWC because, again, I love Arena. I love watching the competitions and just the level of gameplay that comes from that. CDL, I'm kind of with you. I find watching CDL is similar to watching paint dry. I know that's not what you said, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I'm sure there's other people that really enjoy it, like you said. I just
There's a lot of opportunity for outplay. It's not a bad, it's not a bad sport.
No,
yeah.
But it is what it is. But Windstead, what are your choices?
Well, I'm with you, Gerissar. I'm gonna need the Summer Bowl.
Whoa! All right.
That was amazingly fun to watch. I really think it's what the Warcraft community needs because it's objective based PvP. And the interesting thing of the classic aspect is that there are so many more items and so many more things available to each class that you can bring into it, from Noggin Fogger potions to Goblin boots of speed, Goblin boots, all that kind of stuff is available to everybody. Yet at the same time, you're very class specific and you bring all those things in on it as well. So, I mean, I just extremely enjoyed the Summer Bowl. Shout out to Vinruki and what's his partner's name?
Zico. I can't believe you forgot that.
I know. I'm
the Black Lizard.
Yeah, yep. But I really enjoyed watching the Summer Bowl. It was of such caliber that you could understand what was going on if you had.
And that's really the herein where what lies the inherent value of something like this, is because the inherent challenge and struggle of WoW Arena is to make it easy to understand, make it easy to consume, in the same way that someone who's just like never seen gaming before walks up to a screen and says, "Oh look, Call of Duty! Oh look, there's a terrorist. He blew it up. He won." You know, oh, the counter terrorists got them all. They won. It's intuitive, and that's really.
And the Summer Bowl really brought that, and I really enjoyed that. It was very enjoyable to watch.
I just want to chime in two things there. One that was also really amazing about Summer Bowl is it was dual streamed on YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
How'd they allow that? Oh, because it's not AWC.
It wasn't Blizzard sponsored.
No, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
How'd they get away with the Twitch stream then?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't ask. So, but anyways, okay.
All right.
So you need Summer Bowl. What do you agree, bud?
I'm gonna greed the AWC.
Yep.
Not
surprised.
think the production quality is good, and the ability. Well, and I guess the best way to describe why I'm greeting the AWC and passing on the CWL is that I feel like the CDL is a tic-tac-toe game. You know.
Yeah.
It can be really fun. You can catch people out every now and then, but the game has been around so long that, especially in that iteration of Classic, you just know who's going to win the 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? We know that Warlocks and Shadow Priests are the best PvP classes for dueling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just know that, period. And one of those 2 classes is going to win the CDL. That's just, I mean, if I had to bet money, I would bet on, you know, the Warlock and the Shadow Priest. And there's not really anything that you can do to beat those characters in the long run. And so it's a decided match. It's a decided game. It's fun to see them pull out those crazy items every now and then that, you know, turn the tables. But then that item's on cooldown and they're left to go back to, you know, losing the next match because they no longer have access to that item.
Fair enough.
So,
which I think is similar to what we're saying is same with.
I think all of us agree that the CDL unfortunately is a solved game.
Yeah.
You know, we know who's going to win. We know what class is the best. We know what spec they're going to be playing. There's not really anything that you can do there that we haven't seen.
Well, that's strong. It's strong language. I mean, I don't disagree with you in the enjoyment perspective, but I mean, the bracket would say that those statements are not necessarily true. But I mean, like, yes, more often than not, certain classes, it's just, yeah.
Well, and it's just like every now and then I win a game of tic-tac-toe. Mm-hmm. You know, every now and then I don't stalemate the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do I lose tic-tac-toe? No. I know how the game is played. I know where to put my X's and my O's, and it's a solved game. And that's where AWC isn't quite solved. You know what I mean? Because it's newer, because it's been changed and updated, and they add in new things, it's not quite as stagnant and solved like the classic gameplay is.
Well, I think like you're saying though, like with classic gameplay, there's no changes, right? In retail, they're constantly changing the game. They're making nerfs, they're making buffs, they're changing things. I would say they are seeing, like, you know, who gets off the iron grenade faster. That
Plus,
can
you're
change,
also talking
that
2
can change
dimensions versus 6 dimensions.
Exactly.
Well, and when Burning Crusade comes out, I'm going to be, oh gosh, this is going to become okay. When
Was it confirmed?
I swear to the ever living Lord, when Burning Crusade comes out.
I haven't heard of when yet. I've only heard ifs.
Don't be putting out fake news on this podcast, sir.
Well, I strongly doubt they're going to do Classic Plus. You know,
we don't know. We have no idea.
I mean, that's probably not going to happen. But I hope, my soul of souls, because Burning Crusade is where I really came into this game, and just like, you know, I got my 2400 rating. I excelled in Burning Crusade, and I would love for that to happen again. And when the arena comes back out, we're going to be coming not a live World of Warcraft PvP podcast, but we are going to be a Burning Crusade PvP podcast.
I don't think so there, bud.
I mean, that'd
be fine.
Get it. I get it, but what happens when you don't hit 2400 and you're just like, wow, this is really better when I lived it the first time?
Yeah, that's not true. You never know.
Well, I mean, I'm just asking. Like, it's just a realistic question, right? That's the problem with some type of nostalgia stuff.
Grind. I'll go for a 2400 grind for raiding in Burning Crusade. I'll get back there. Yeah.
All right. So since we're going to be since we're talking about the future, let's move on and let's talk about what's actually happening in the future and talk about the upcoming PvP event.
Nice segue.
Get in there and fight!
Get lucky once in a while.
Let's do it.
All right. So, again, Dalaran Gaming, he's still at his old antics. So I'll leave that link in there. Otherwise, the only thing else that I'm aware of is the official esports stuff. So there's the NA qualifier for the Classic Summer Bowl, which is happening this weekend coming up. And then from both the NA and the EU qualifiers are going to be the finals. And those are going to be hosted on the 4th and the 5th of July, EU and NA respectively. Then on the week of the 10th to the 12th of July, we're going to have the MDI Global Finals. That's going to be really awesome to watch. I'm actually pretty excited for that. I haven't checked the rules on that yet, so I'm not sure what they're going to be running for keys. I'm not sure if they're going to do if they're going to stick with the plus 19s or if they're going to push it higher. So that'll be interesting to see what they decide to do there. And then the AWC BFA circuit has been announced finally. So that's going to be a 4-week circuit round robin style, starting on the 22nd, the weekend of the 22nd of August. And it's going to go each weekend up until the 13th, the 12th and 13th of September, with the EU finals happening on the 26th of September and the NA finals happening on the 27th of September. And that will end the BFA AWC. So
Nifty.
That's good. That's another couple months of official esports, guys.
I
What do you think?
forget that they happen because they're not on Twitch.
I'm going to put down a prediction that we're going to see in October Shadowlands then. If they're doing the finals in September.
Yeah.
I mean, when the finals happen, I think we'll start seeing the pre-patch.
So October pre-patch and release of Shadowlands.
End of October, November. I mean, it would be cool if they did it on during the Halloween season.
Yep.
You know, a Shadowlands release, because that's kind of
and that
and things like that. So.
That would have lined up totally with where BlizzCon would have happened, which would have been all right.
And since we're not at BlizzCon, what better way than to be like, hey, here you go. Instead of BlizzCon, we give you the game.
I just have to take, because we've been talking about BGs and everything for a bit there, especially because of the Summer Bowl. I just want to give a quick shout out to the chat room. You guys are awesome, and an interesting concept of considering high-rated arena gameplay and battleground play to professional circuits versus the minor leagues. I'm not sure if I totally agree with that, because I think some of the high-rated battleground players consider themselves as much professionals as the arena players. So
yeah,
just gonna throw that out there.
Minor leagues are professionals.
Fair enough.
Depending on the sport, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I know some minor leagues that are just they're amateur professionals. They're being paid, but it's a pittance. So
yeah. I just think baseball when I think minor leagues, but.
Why does everything have to be baseball down there?
I don't know.
Because it's not hockey.
America's sport, I guess. I don't know.
I think basketball was baseball. Yeah, baseball was created by American. Basketball was created by Canadian. I'm not sure who created hockey.
The military.
Probably.
It's just war.
Yeah.
Although they've done away with a lot of the fun fights.
With good reason. People aren't supposed to have long-standing lifetime injuries from playing from getting punched while playing a sport. In my personal opinion, that's a bad thing. But talking about our opinions, why don't we talk about our subject analysis and talk about what we think of the Hook Point Arena?
I'm gonna light you up, sweet cheeks.
Well, let's get it.
All right, I've got my characters logged in and teamed up.
All right, we're gonna do live
Alrighty,
gameplay
ready.
again. All right. So again, oh man, I totally forgot to do this. People, please, for the Need Green Pass, please, let us know what you think. What would you need a Green Pass on that? And for this part, we're gonna try to describe as best as we can. But again, please pop over to the Twitch stream or the YouTube stream, or the YouTube video, and check out where then you can see exactly what we're doing, so you know what we're talking about as we're doing it.
I'm pretty sure the people want a bonus roll. They'll need Green Pass on Method Mayhem.
Oh!
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what people want.
I didn't see the bonus roll. I don't know about that.
Bonus roll.
Yeah, you forgot to get your tokens for the week, you fools.
We might need to add a bonus roll every now and then to.
What's this Method Mayhem you're talking about? I don't know what that is.
Get your bonus rolls.
It's basically AWC but privatized.
We should. Yeah, right, exactly. Think of SpaceX, yeah. That actually might be a really fun thing. If someone does something just straight up, just so noteworthy, you should give them a seal of Unbroken Fate to where they can bonus roll something on a Need Green Pass of their choosing.
There you go.
That would be both awesome and terrifying at the same time.
Yes. Well, anyway.
Yes. Anyways. Well, here, let's... Yeah, I need to turn off some sounds here. I'm hearing things in my ears because I'm logged in as well. But why don't we start talking about what is the Hook Point Arena? So, actually, this is kind of interesting. Here we are at the end of Battle for Azeroth, which is the expansion that this arena was actually implemented in back when it first started in July 2018. It's been 2 years. Holy moly. And it's interesting because this is also the last arena that we have scheduled. We've talked about all the arenas up until now. So
we may have to drop back and redo some videos on the arenas, but
do we though?
I see how popular you guys think these videos are.
Do we really? I really don't want to do those again. All right. So here we go. So we're going to just pop into here, waiting for the queues to pop up. That said, so everybody's probably played this, I'm sure of it. It's situated in the docks of Borealis. I think overall the lore of it is really awesome. I mean, truly, when you pop in, you are in Borealis. It's the same spot right in front of where the PvP vendor is. So you got the feeling of like fish. I think there's a shark hanging in the middle off of one of the pillars.
They really the theme.
Yeah, the intro is really fun. You got the guy shouting a whole bunch of instructions off of a platform inside. There's a whole bunch of people. You got the brawlers in front that won't let you pass as the gatekeepers. You got the people all around, and they cheer and cajole you, and sometimes cluck you and everything else. It's pretty fun. I do enjoy it. Now, as far as actual gameplay, there's the two pillars in the actual arena. You got the one with the shark on it that's hanging out. And then you have another one over on the other side, which is also the platform where Buddy O yells from, and apparently is keeping track between the Kraken and three-headed Hydra. Apparently, the Kraken is winning 6-4, just in case everybody's keeping score there.
Oh, what?
What?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go Kraken.
Kraken rocks.
And then we also have this little barrier area, kind of a hallway off to the side.
Yes.
With 3 pathways to get into it. So 2 walls, 3 openings, so that you can escape line of sight.
Yeah. And that's situated really close to one of the starting spots. Otherwise, so I'd say with this is probably one of the smaller of the maps. For sure.
I didn't really in Legion when they had the newer maps come out. They didn't really become very popular in AWC. But
True.
this map
Correct.
I've seen picked a lot.
I think it's picked a
I
lot
think
right now
that's-
because
yeah.
of the caster comps.
Yeah, no,
This
this is a much more popular map
Mhm.
than I think any of the Legion introductions were.
Well, I think the part of the reason why it's picked so much right now is because this was the easiest map to kill a Mistweaver monk, and because of the meta pervasiveness of Mistweavers right now, that's why you'll see this. But they actually did a really good, nice breakdown in the past. I can't remember, I think it was Van Rookie who talked a lot about it, and Rich Campbell, about how when these guys are actually practicing for the AWC and they're practicing these maps, they're much more practiced on other maps. They're not very practiced on maps like Mugambala.
True.
And so that's why you see that pick disparity. I can't speak.
Disparity.
Yes, disparity. Oh, gosh, words are hard. Yes, so that's why you're seeing such a difference in these maps being picked. They obviously were able to articulate that much better than I could, and they could actually speak English. But I thought it was really interesting, and it's I've still remembered like their discussions about that, and it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I can see that being definitely one of the issues. I think, like you said, though, we're definitely seeing this map picked a lot more. I think it's way more practiced. That said, let's talk a little bit more about the actual topography. So I'm not sure if people are seeing from the point of view that's being seen from Andallyn's point of view right now. But now we have the sightseeing crystals have popped up. So there's we were talking about where the walls are. There's a crystal that's right by the one entranceway, on the open platform, if you will, at one end of the hallway of walls, or on the west side, and then there's another one at the other end there.
Right.
So I find it interesting that both the sight crystals are on that one side of the map. Normally, we see on a lot of maps where the sight crystals are at opposite ends, closer to kind of like they're almost opposite of the starting spots. So I find it really interesting that one's completely opposite of both starting spots, and one's like almost right next door to a starting spot.
Right.
That's also the pillars for these are actually pretty big. I'd say for pillar size, I'd put these a little bit larger than the ones you'd see in the Grand Arena. I'm not sure if you guys agree to that.
They're a little bit. I say they're smaller than the Grand Arena, but they're larger
Really?
than the boxes in Lordaeron.
Okay, I would have thought this is bigger than the ones in the Grand. Just eyeballing it.
This feels slightly smaller than the Grand. Pillar.
Really? Okay. All right, just looking at it. Okay, granted. I'll give you that.
It could be the same size. I would not be surprised if they're like, no, it's the same size.
Yeah.
I will say the spacing between oh shoot, Ace fell apart. My bad. I didn't tell Ace to do anything for the last.
Oh, that's
little
okay.
bit, so she logged anyway. But
Right.
I would say that the spacing between all the line of sights are much smaller on this map than probably any other map that I can really think of.
I would say it's similar to the spacing on Ashamains.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
But they are really close.
Mm-hmm. And the one other thing, this is it's almost a rectangle, but there's one corner that's sheared off by a houseboat.
Yeah.
Oh. Houseboat.
Yeah, this house where we're standing here.
It's the PB.
If you actually look,
I see.
if you actually look, it's actually a boat and turned into a house.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And there's somebody blowing kisses and hearts over their head, which is cool. Anyway,
Dope.
so yeah,
Like I said, this map is really good, and like we were saying,
Like a little
it
puppy
really
going.
does favor a lot of caster comps.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the line of sight, you can force people to chase you a lot.
Yes.
And so melee is constantly having to run after you, and meanwhile, if you're on the caster comp team, your other guys are just being able to pop out from line of sight and just start pummeling people. And so you're able to just really move from line of sight to line of sight as the melee chase whoever they're trying to kill.
Typically the healer. This is kill the healer map.
Truly, I agree. There is one other thing that's interesting about this map. Due to where it's situated in Borealis, there seems to be a small issue with it where it causes DCs on load up, which is a well-known issue. So in live, there's obviously nothing that can be done about that. You just really hope your player reconnects, or for whatever reason they disconnected, assuming it was them. I believe Mistweavers actually have a big problem with this map trying to load into it. And I think you also see that
the class
with this one.
So much to do with that.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just because every time I watch a healer playing, they're only playing Mistweavers right now. So, but what was I say? Obviously with the AWC, if they disconnect, then that just becomes a redo for the map. So but you also see when this map is being chosen, sometimes the lag time to getting into the map is a lot longer because of those issues. Yeah. Anyway, I think as far as that though, the map itself is super simple. Obviously.
Yeah, no, and it is very straightforward. It's got a lot of the line of sight spots that we've been talking about.
Yep.
It's really, and the popularity in the AWCR speaks really, really well for how popular this map is. That it is pretty fair for the most part.
I think with this one, another thing that it brings into it is some of the spots by the pillars are so tight to the walls that things like Rings of Peace and Rings of Frost and other areas of denial actually have a much bigger effect than you would have in, let's say, Tolvaron.
Yeah, no, dropping a Ring of Peace here, where I'm at, in between this area, being able to lock a healer who's hiding here, and then suddenly there's a Ring of Frost in their way, or the Ring of Peace bouncing them back, so you've trapped them from being able to get their line of sight. So then they have to run all the way around to the other side in order to heal.
Yep.
Really, really does.
Yep. Same with like a Ring of Peace will completely deny a healer from escaping. So I think that's about it really. I don't think there's really many other tips or tricks that we come up with this one.
No, I mean, this one's really straightforward. I really can't think of anything too special about it that would. I mean, you can get back inside of the start zones or some line of sight. That's pretty standard on most maps.
I think with this one though, nobody really wants to go there. That's such a trap. Usually, what I see is
it can be. It can be,
especially if you get Ring of Peace in there.
Yeah, exactly. I think usually what I'll see is the healers will, especially if we're talking Mistweavers, they'll leave their portal spots, their teleport spots, either behind the wall at the start side or behind a pillar on the other start side, and then everybody else will play out in the open between the pillars and the walls, and that seems to be the go-to sort of gameplay. I guess when it comes to melee cleaves, what do you guys think? Do you think they probably play more around the pillar than out in the open, right? Rather than caster cleaves are obviously they're playing out in the open trying to do the triangle.
Oh no, melee's going to be like on you.
Yeah, no, I mean melee's really got to stay on top of you because it is so easy to get line of sight. They really do want to be on top of you. One thing that is kind of nice that kind of Andallyn's been pointing out with all these Ring of Frost is that you don't have a whole lot of space behind these places, and it's very easy to kind of trap somebody.
Yeah.
You know, behind the pillars. I mean, he can almost get. I mean, from where I'm seeing, he can almost put a ring to where he gets to the middle of the pillar.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty there. So
true. And like you just did though, all it takes is a blink and a DB or a blink and a poly.
The range that you have is of most spells will reach most of your melee weapon. Most of your melee abilities will reach the other corner of the pillar. Yeah. So if you were to heroic leap to the corner, colossal smash, you're on them.
That I agree.
So,
yeah, but this
all right.
I would say this map does favor melee though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just because
it's
Okay.
It's one of those maps that if you can stick on your target, if you are the Walking Dead and you have the Death Knight being able to constantly slow the Ring of Peace to push people out, it can definitely be something that you're able to just stay on top of people the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess I think that's about it. I think it's about time to kill somebody. What do you think there, Andallyn?
I see how this is going.
You should be used to this by now.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Anyway, so I think that's good enough for us. We'll move on to other things, like what we would change. What's one thing you guys would change about this map, if anything?
I want the shark to eat people.
Yes.
I really want the shark to just be like, every now and then, depending on what side of the pillar you're on.
Like the Gerissar lore, dinosaur boss?
Oh,
I think.
Where he just kind of like chomps on you?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, just like if you're using this pillar, the shark pillar, as your hiding spot, randomly one corner will suddenly become red, that a spell is being cast in that zone. And if you're in that spot when let's say 3 seconds times out,
Yep.
then if you're in that spot and you haven't gotten away within 3 seconds of it popping up, suddenly you're inside the shark's belly taking a nice little dot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's what I would change. I think that'd just be silly.
I love it.
It would favor maybe one side a little bit more than the other, but hey.
Well, I mean, granted, it could favor the, if you stun lock somebody there.
The map is so small that, I mean, I see, doesn't really matter which side of the map you started on. Eventually, you find yourself, rotating around the shark.
True. All right. That's interesting. Andallyn, do you have a...
You go. I'm still thinking.
Shoot. All right. You know what? I'm gonna be silly.
Good.
I would love, considering there's the whole the scoreboard between the Kraken and the three-headed Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
I would like them to drop out of the sky and battle in the middle between the two pillars, zone locking out that whole section. Just for poops and giggles. Drop there.
Like the sewers of Dalaran. Suddenly the water pillar pops up, and in this case, it's 3 Hydra heads pop out of the ground, and then suddenly some
no, not even
legs, or just like full blown.
Yeah, like a waterfall comes down from the sky. Down drops the Kraken. Down drops the Hydra. The two of them start battling it out between 2 pillars, and you don't want to go near there. So everybody has to go to one side of the map or the other. Yeah.
Oh, so you would even take damage if you're in the fight.
Well, you think the Kraken or the three-headed Hydra cares about some little pipsqueak Coltran? Do you?
I like it.
All
All
right, I got mine.
Handle it.
Oh, okay. Whoa! All right, here's what I would do. I would make the crowd engaging. Okay. So, essentially, the crowd would kind of like start to press in, and like you would have the big Coltran bouncers. Like, they would kind of randomly just kind of go, like, back them up and keep the space. But that would actually start to, like, close the map in a little bit, and the Colterans would open it up and, like, give them space. And I would also want them, like, to interact in the way that, like, if you missed your kick or something, they would, like, throw tomatoes and stuff at you.
That'd be awesome.
I like that.
I like it.
That's mine.
If
That's cool.
Let's flog him. He missed his counter spell.
Or an applause for the guy who was able to juke. If you get a successful juke, there's like, oh, what a great move, and the other guy who cast the counter spell gets a tomato.
I like it. I suddenly think of like the old underground boxing, like the the boxing matches where it's like the crowd of people and the guys are just fighting in the middle, and then like
Yeah.
when they get hit, they like bounce off people and they get thrown back into the ring.
Oh yeah.
I like it. All right. Well, again, just going to do a quick shout out to the listeners. If there's anything that you think we missed about this map, please, or anything you think that should change about it, please, by all means, write in technically at technicallypvp@gmail.com or @_technicallypvp over on Twitter. In the meantime, why don't we get into the news and talk about what's been happening in the world of Azeroth?
All right. Who ordered up an extra large can of whoop ass?
Let's do it.
Indeed. So, as always, there's consistently a round of hot fixes that have been going out. There's actually one that was really funny. Did you guys see what happened with the auction house?
Yeah, no, I was really surprised that they did that.
Me too.
If you're using add-ons to help you scan the auction house, they deliberately slowed you down.
Yes, and it was significant. I actually tried posting while it was up, and it was horrible. It added like an extra hour to me to just repost everything I did.
What's the purpose of that?
So the way the announcement was put into the show notes or into the hotfix was they were having service issues. So I think what it was is all of the number of pings that were happening on the auction house for every time people were posting, the ping, they searched the auction house. So all those messages going back and forth were affecting gameplay, were affecting server performances. Yeah. And so they decided that what they would do is they were going to throttle it. And after you posted, I think I got off. I timed it. I think I got off 40 before the throttle happened, and then if I waited for a minute, I could get like another 10, and then it would throttle again. If I waited 2 minutes, I could get 20, and then it would throttle again, kind of like that. So,
I don't know if that's beneficial to the game. I really don't.
So it wasn't about the auction house. It was about the traffic that was happening, and yeah, I'm talking mostly about posting, but it's also like the cans. So people would post, and then somebody else would post and subcut and undercut you. So then you would rescan to do your cancel them all up, and then repost. So all that is like it's mail traffic. It's information gathering from the auction house and all the messages, and that was really it was affecting the server performance. So in the end, they decided to ease off on the throttle for posting, but they kept the throttling for doing the cancellation.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they did change it.
They eased it off a bit. I did notice. So this morning I did a repost, and I noticed after I think it was my third round through my mailbox, I started noticing that the posts were being a little bit slower than the first couple hundred.
Yeah, I see. Because on the 16th they implemented it, and on the 17th, the day after, they significantly relaxed the throttle.
Yes.
So they said, okay, that was maybe a bit too much.
It was, and the response from the response from the community was pretty horrible. It was.
Well, I mean, Blizzard would make a good auction house. I don't think it would be.
It is a good. I love the new auction house.
It's vastly improved.
The new one is much better.
I still think TSM does a better job.
There's a number of add-ons that help, and for the most part, it's for the automations for posting and reposting and that it really helps.
Yep.
I find, I think this side is on the server side. They were seeing so many degradations on the performance of their servers, which impacts everybody.
Yeah. That
they felt the need to do something. So I think that speaks more of just how much traffic and messages are passed. If you think about how laggy stuff gets when a bunch of people are AoEing things, imagine how laggy stuff can get when multiple servers, multiple people are scanning and reposting on an auction house at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, and I wonder how much of that is going to be remedied after this. I mean, because there's a huge bot problem happening right now in World of Warcraft.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah, no, and that's the other part of it is that because they just banned 700 or it was 75,000 accounts were just recently banned.
Yeah.
For botting.
Yeah, across.
And so
That's across
so
classic
they
and
do
retail.
have bots that will just go and sit at the auction house and just, no human interaction whatsoever. The bots will just do their thing. And I wonder if that's kind of what they were hoping to attack.
Well, I don't think
these
that's
changes.
illegal botting.
Are you suggesting that you do that?
No, I don't actually play the game right now. As someone who has experimented with bots in the past, though, they are only interested in bots that actually like crack down on bots that actually handle gameplay, right? Because they have add-ons, not bots, that handle that whole like I'm going to undercut your auction and I'm going to have my script constantly ping the auction house, pull the price, see what I listed it for, and just run through that algorithm over and over and over again until your items sell, right? And then you just log in and go, oh yeah, cash in my stuff, right? Whereas bots like Honor Buddy was the big one that they attacked, and that they had the big issue with all through Legion, if you remember that, and that was oh gosh, it was the worst. And then you had the scripting warlocks, which just ruined RPGs. So it's really like it's really like the gameplay botting is what's illegal.
Yeah.
I'm interested with the gold token that you can spend in-game gold on real life things.
Yep, the WoW token. Yeah.
I mean, there's it was who was it that I just barely saw? Oh gosh. What's his name? Famous Twitch streamer, always in the center of controversy.
Asmongold?
Yeah, that guy. You can tell how much I like drama.
I was gonna say Cervantes, but okay.
But I mean, he
Rich is up there too.
Yeah,
sometimes for drama.
Well,
different kind of drama.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. Anyway,
but,
so what did Asmon do?
Asmon exposed 2 major bot farm spots where literally, like, he showed up to them,
right?
And there were just tons and tons of these bots that would just enter a dungeon, run the dungeon, come out of the dungeon, sell all the items they got from the dungeon, enter dungeon, run dungeon, and they just did it constantly. And so the amount of gold that they were getting from those dungeons were paying for the account by buying the token, and then they could sell the in-game things and the currencies and stuff like that from the other all the money they were getting on the actual Blizzard store.
When was the last time you stepped a foot into Najatar? Because I've been in there, and my spy program has spiked where I've had 10 druids fly past me in a tight group.
Oh yeah,
and they do the circuit. Yeah, so that it's not just that. Like, we're talking like people that are multi-boxing 10 druids to do resource farming.
Yeah.
And that was an issue too, because people would be flying around or going around Najatar or wherever trying to gather resources as well. And the nodes will only take so many hits before they disappear, right? So that was an issue too.
Very
interesting. I think the 75,000 that got banned though was more over at Classic because it was horrible over there. There was a really big issue. I think that's where a lot of it actually happened. I don't think as much happened in NA. And I say that only because when I'm looking at the auction house, I'm still seeing a number of familiar names posting thousands of resources, like the ore or the herbs or whatever, and that hasn't gone away. And also, what else am I seeing? There's something else I was going to say. Anyway, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that looks like there's still a number of these resource farmers that are still around. So I don't think that was, and maybe they're resource farming live and they're actually sitting there doing it, and they're not bots, which is great if that's the case. Just sucks for players.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that pretty much kills everything that we've done in talking about the hot fixes. There is one that is kind of nice over for the classic side. That actually just happened yesterday, where they increased the range for the combat logs for players who are inside dungeons and raids. So that should help people when they're trying to parse
Nice.
a full raid. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to throttle the auction house to make up for that. I have no idea. I'm just
Bazinga. So obviously, Cup 4 for AWC, the EU and the NA happened back on the 12th and the 13th. Well, actually, the 13th of June is when they both ended. So congratulations to Wildcard Gaming for taking the first place over at the EU Cup, and a huge congratulations to Cloud9 for again taking the NA Cup, which gave them 4 consecutive first place wins. That's
dynasty.
Dominating.
Mm-hmm.
Dominating. Oh my gosh.
So that's it. Spaceship Gaming came really close.
Yeah.
Yep. Space Station Gaming. They came really close a couple times. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen when we get to the circuit that we were talking about earlier, how that's going to lay out. But yes, Cloud9 is a powerhouse, and not. Yeah, I think they were playing mostly their what was it? Their Warlock. Oh shoot, I'm totally just forgetting what they played. Pardon me?
Which Warlock are you talking about? Snuts?
No. For Cloud9, no, their comp they usually play was the Warlock comp.
Yep.
Totally brain farting it right now. Warlock Mage.
Yeah. Wealthy man.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is.
Pyro?
Pardon me?
With Greater Pyro.
Actually, they're playing Frostmage.
Yeah, Greater Pyro is actually trash. I tried to tell you this, and you told me I was wrong. And then everyone's come out and said, even the Twitter sphere is full of how just like.
I just know that I've been watching some of these matches, and I see Greater Pyros going off a lot when I see mages.
So I think you're seeing Fire Mage Arampala.
Yeah.
I'll check. I'll go back through the VOD.
Yeah. No worries. So, but either way, Cloud9's their Lock Mage Mistweaver is really strong. But if somebody even finds a way to take out that comp, they have so many other scary comps that they can just pull out. It's just between they have so many skilled players on there and multi-classers. It's crazy. So as we alluded earlier, there was also the classic Summer Bowl.
You're thinking of Chanimal.
Yeah. Sorry. Chanimal is one that. Yeah, Chanimal plays the Warlock. Wealthy Man plays the Mage. Yep. Snuts comes in with Rogue or Windwalker sometimes too. If I'm not mistaken.
Windwalker, yeah.
Yeah. So.
In Cubsy.
Yes. Cubsy is a god healer. Can't wait to talk to them again. Those guys are fun to talk to.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to get them on.
Right. Trying. Not saying I'm not trying. All right. Again, Classic Summer Bowl. The EU qualifiers happened last weekend. Great matchup. Some pretty long games. Some pretty long days for the casters. Again, as we said, Venruki and Zico did a phenomenal job. I want to do a quick shout out to Zico. He went the whole day without muting himself, so that was great for him. If anybody watches AWC, you know what I'm talking about. And I want to give a huge shout out. There's a team called Apes. They took first place. And
surprise.
They actually had two teams. They had Apes, and then they had Apes Bread, I think.
Bread. Yep.
Yeah, and it actually ended up where they ended up playing against each other a couple times.
Nice.
Pretty funny. Yeah. But they ended up taking first place. That said, I'm not sure how the qualifiers goes. I'm assuming it was just a point system to figure out who actually makes it to the EU finals that's going to be played. So I'm sure that just means Team Apes is going to be the first seed. So we'll figure out what happens there. Again, we're talking about. Sorry. Go ahead.
Teams get a pass. So Apes and Ape Breads get a bye in the first round.
Okay.
So that's what they got out of the preliminary.
Nice.
And then when they
So
start
she-
up again, they'll, with the brackets all formed out as they will be, then they'll go from there, and they get a bye for the first round.
That's really significant then. 'Cause that's a
Yeah.
that immediately puts you in the second round. Like that's wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So if anybody's I'm sure some people are wondering, the prize pool for the Summer Bowl is $4,000 US. Everybody's wondering that.
Nice.
Yeah. Not insignificant.
You're
But,
splitting it amongst how many people though, right?
It's 10 person teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that's the total pool. I don't know what the spread's going to be. I didn't go into the rules.
Yeah, you get $400 a person. I mean, for a tournament that's never the first one where you're not,
Yep.
In order for these things to go up in prize pool, you have to have resource dedications. There's got to be certain payouts. There's got to be certain benchmarks and meet certain KPIs. It's unrealistic to just say like, Blizzard has enough money, they can throw more. You're like, I don't. That's So.
But they do, don't you know?
Let's not go into
Yeah, let's
using
not.
their money. Let's not go there. Bad
All
memories.
right. Classic Duelers League. So again,
Yes.
that happened. The EU finals happened on the 19th of June. Quick congrats out to Odolager. Hey, Winstead, did you see what class he is?
Yep. Shadow Priest.
Shadow Priest.
Yep.
Yeah, so congrats to him for winning.
And
out of,
Shadow Priest won North America, right? Trickster or whatever, right?
Yeah, as far as I know. So that puts Shadow Priest as the king spec.
Global
the king,
world champion.
global. Yeah. That's actually pretty significant. So I huge shout out for that. The bracket on that, I'm sure, was a pretty strong competition. So cool for him for figuring that out and winning. And I guess there's a couple things that have been happening in the streamer sphere. I'm not sure if did you guys see what happened about Mixer?
I saw a brief headline, but I didn't dive into it. Something about Mixer being sold or something?
So yeah, Microsoft has given up. They're giving up. They started Mixer to get into the streaming against YouTube gaming and Twitch and everything. And after so many years, they've given up, and so they're selling off to Facebook. And yeah, so, with that,
Ninja would go to Facebook.
the big name there, Ninja. He was actually he got a sweet deal to move from Twitch over to Mixer in hopes to raise their profile. And technically, this breaks that contract because them selling off is ending earlier than what the originally contracted was. So him and Shroud both got payouts for Mixer doing this. Yeah. I heard somewhere in the range of $40 million. Wow. For the two of them.
Yeah. So basically, if Ninja wanted to, he could just stop streaming for the rest of his life.
He could have done that a long time ago, probably.
yeah, he actually could have done that a long time ago.
But now he definitely can. Like 18 times over,
Yeah. So he apparently is moving back over to Twitch. And he's actually started to pop over to some streamers' streams. There's actually a clip that was shared over on our Discord where he popped into a streamer's, a person that was streaming, and dropped $1,500 on the kid. Just because. I mean, why not?
That's
right?
Awesome.
It's really awesome, actually. It's
just got a $40 million payout. Why not?
Among other things, I think that's a great thing that shows about people like Ninja, where he's worked hard to get what he has, but he understands it's more money than he needs, and he's willing to share it, which is something that, I mean, if you think about these big companies wouldn't probably ignore him, and then why would they just pick random people to boost? So by giving him the money, and then he can find people that he knows of or has heard of and share it, that's awesome. Personally, I think it's awesome that he's doing that. Anyway, so that's happened. And then on top of that, Twitch, well, actually really Amazon, because Amazon bought Twitch, But you guys ever? Here's a question: do you guys use the Twitch add-on for the Twitch application for managing your add-ons, the Curse Gaming stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Which used to be Curse. Yeah.
Me
the
too.
Curse Forge.
Yeah. That's what because I use it all the time. It was really slick. I could just update all my add-ons. It was great. I guess we're gonna have to find something else to do because apparently Twitch is selling that off.
It's sold off to a Wolf Gaming or something like that.
Overwolf.
Overwolf. Yep.
Yeah, and so Overwolf is going to take up the Cursed Forge, which is where all the add-ons are made and uploaded to.
Yeah, that's
and
the
so
website.
It sounds like it's going to be another
app.
Instead of I'm the only reason I had Twitch on my computer is because it was just so good for the mods, and then since Blizzard went over to YouTube, I have even less need for Twitch, and so I'm I don't know what I'm probably just gonna get the new mod index from Overwolf, and then that's what I plan on doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I remember Overwolf. It came in. It was supposed to be a replacement for Ventrilo, and it wasn't bad, but the app itself, it was a little overbearing. It was a little overwieldy, and it had an overlay that always popped up on the game, so it's kind of got in the way in gaming sometimes.
Yep, I didn't care for it.
Yeah, me neither. But they stuck around, and I thought they got picked up for being the go-to voice chat for a couple esports systems. I thought.
I think TeamSpeak pretty much takes the cake with all those.
I thought Overwolf took over that too. But anyway,
maybe.
I don't know if I'm going to pick up Overwolf or not, or just go back to doing manual uploads. In a way, I kind of want to, because I found with the Twitch app, it was getting really confused between classic sometimes, and every once in a while I'd end up doing an update, and if I wasn't careful, I would end up downloading a classic version of an app, and it would just break the net on.
Yep, I had the same problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't, because all I play is classic.
No, you still play live every once in a while, like especially
every
when
once in a while I'll dip in and do some stuff.
Not enough to need add-ons though.
Yeah, no.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's about it for everything that we're going to talk about. Yes, let's move in. Let's do some shout outs if you guys want to, and let's close the shout out or close the show out. Windstead, do you have any shout outs?
I would like to shout out all our Patreons who help support the, Warcraft Radio team, and all you guys. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for what you do.
Indeed.
I can't find my hat, so when Stalin's taking a leave of absence.
I was wondering what happened there. I was totally expecting.
I can't find my hat. I think I might have taken it inside for some role play a little bit earlier. But yeah, no, that's it's missing. I can't find it.
Fair enough.
So
all right. I want to give a quick shout out over to Warcraft Radio, just for everything they've been doing. And if you guys haven't noticed, they're still getting some more people to come over to the Warcraft Radio station. We got some more podcasts that are showing up there, and there are some more that are coming. They just haven't been announced yet. So please, by all means, go over to the Warcraft Radio Discord, where you'll find us and all those other great shows. And also, by all means, give a follow to their Twitter, and you'll get the news as soon as we get it. So, highly recommend that. Andallyn, do you have any shoutouts?
No, I'm just gonna echo your guys' shoutouts.
All right, echo chamber it is.
Yes.
Well, why don't we? Talking about echoing and repeating, why don't we repeat our outro that we give everybody every show when we close out?
Sure. You can visit the Warcraft Radio website to find us and many other great shows at warcraftradio.com.
You're not supposed to tell them it's the same exact outro. You never state the obvious.
No.
Speaking of which,
Watching me doesn't know that.
speaking of stating the obvious, you can also contact us directly with a tweet to @technically_PvP or an email at technicallypvp@gmail.com.
Indeed. And you can also join our discussions at the Warcraft Radio Discord. Links for all these will be in the show notes. And thank you all for listening. We'll chat with you next time. Good night, everybody.
Ciao.
Good night, all.
Boy, that was...